Baby's been kicking this whole video. It's super cute though, because I'm like trying to focus. I'm like, okay, baby, hold on. Hola mi gente! So for this video, I wanted to talk about my pregnancy diet because a lot of you guys have been wanting to see more pregnancy content. A lot of you guys have actually asked, what is it that I eat day to day throughout this pregnancy? And I really appreciate, by the way, that you guys are curious and that you want to know more about this pregnancy, because personally I'm like, oh, people probably don't want to hear about this. Let's just keep pregnancy stuff to a minimum. But you guys have been so eager to come along on this journey with us, which I so appreciate because you know we love you guys like family. But before we get into this, I want to give a shout out to Chatbooks for sponsoring today's video. I made a beautiful photo album for our wedding. So the previous one that I had, if you guys have been following us for a long time, I had another one a long time ago, but that one I actually gave to Mama Chan because she loved it so much. So I was like, oh my gosh, we don't have a wedding album of our own, and luckily Chatbooks came through. So I created this beautiful hardcover 10 by 10 photo book of our wedding. And I ended up adding a whole bunch of other photos that I didn't have in the previous album. I am absolutely obsessed with this because the photos came out so beautiful and so clear, and it was so easy to do this too, by the way. You just go on the app. I uploaded all my favorite photos and they make it so easy to actually edit and rearrange layouts. You could even make collages. It literally takes out all the hard work from scrapbooking. You don't have to worry about any of that. You just go on your phone, easily add all the photos you want, and create a beautiful book. And it's pretty cool because you can add custom colors, you can create different kind of covers, and you can add captions to all of your photos too, which I decided not to do, but they do have that as an option, which is really cool. And they make it so easy too. You can connect your Facebook or Instagram account, like any of your social media, and you can just directly get photos from your socials to your album. Super easy. Chatbooks is the modern way to get photos out of your phone and straight into your hands, and super affordable. Prices start at $15 for a 30-page book plus free shipping. So you can click the link in the description and download the Chatbooks app and get 20% off your first Chatbooks order when you use code HOLIDAY20, or you can just scan the QR code on screen right here. So get your holiday shopping early this year. A photo album is a great gift. I know I will definitely be making more, especially for Mama and Papa Chan because they love photos. And I honestly love this album so much. I have it on our coffee table and I'm so looking forward to making more with the baby once the baby's here. So let's get into the pregnancy. And side note, all these years with Isaac being in the public eye and you know me being a mother, no one has ever given their 2 cents about how I parent Isaac. But it's funny how now there's just a lot of opinions on what it is that I'm doing right or wrong with this baby who's not even born yet. Cause like, I know when I vlogged going to Malibu with the girls, that was like the one and only time I really decided to get a whole bunch of Mexican snacks, and they were not the healthiest, of course. It was amusing to me and also endearing that you guys care so much, being like, you shouldn't be eating that, it's not good for the baby, which I really appreciate because you're caring. But don't worry, I know what's good and what isn't good for baby, and I do everything in moderation if it is gonna be like crazy sugar or whatever. I've had a kid for all these years and not once has anyone ever said like, you're doing that wrong or you're doing that whatever. But now all of a sudden with this unborn child that's coming this way, which it's okay. It comes with the platform, I guess. So yeah, a lot of you guys have been asking what I've been eating throughout this pregnancy, and I know that there's some of you out there that are also pregnant. This is a really great question because I'm also very curious what you guys are eating in terms of other pregnant mamas out there. When it comes to food, I've always been kind of completely lost, but throughout this pregnancy, I've discovered my appetite and discovered a sort of love for food. So it's been really fun, just exploring different things, really learning about like how certain foods can be really healthy, and I'm just learning to stay away from other foods that aren't so good for me and baby. So yeah, I thought it'd be really nice to just go into what it is that I eat throughout one day. So for breakfast, I usually make myself an oatmeal, and I jam-pack this oatmeal with all kinds of goodies. I've been grocery shopping a lot and been getting a lot of fruit, so I usually put in like blueberries and raspberries, but sometimes we run out, so I'll end up just doing like bananas and like some sort of nuts. Usually almonds is what I put in there. And I just make it really, really hearty. And I top it off with a spoonful of peanut butter, which, oh my God, I don't know how I never thought of this before, because I absolutely love peanut butter and I always eat an oatmeal. But maybe like about a year ago, someone suggested to put peanut butter in my oatmeal, and I'm like, oh my God, mind blown, this is amazing. And now I cannot have my bowl of oatmeal without peanut butter, because it's so good. I love having peanut butter in it because, first of all, I love that creaminess, but also there's a lot of protein packed in it, so it's really healthy for the baby. Yeah, I'm just like trying to find out ways where I can incorporate more like protein or more like whole grains or whatever it is that can be good for baby, which is a huge difference from when I was pregnant at 17 with Isaac, because when I was pregnant back then, I had absolutely no money. I was at the whim of Isaac's dad's mom because she would be feeding me. Other than that, like, it was just nothing but junk food. I also was really uneducated in terms of what was healthy and what wasn't. And you know, growing up Mexican, a lot of our cuisine isn't really all that healthy. Like, there's a lot of like fats involved, a lot of just carbs, like carb heavy. And so whatever I would eat with Isaac would just be purely junk, honestly. A lot of meals were Del Taco, like a lot. Like the Del Taco quesadilla was all I ate with Isaac, and it's just really interesting to see how crazy of an impact that had in Isaac's appetite and the way he views food, where now with this baby, I'm like, okay, wait, now I know better. I'm more educated when it comes to healthy foods. I actually would make an effort to make myself eat every 2 hours, but I was not thinking at all what I was putting into my body. It was just like, okay, I just need to eat because I need to feed this baby. I would have like sugary cereals for breakfast. I don't know, like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Captain Crunch, and that would be my breakfast. I almost never saw a fruit, I think, throughout Isaac's pregnancy. Like, I never really consumed any vegetables. Like, I'm telling you, it was bad. Like, I don't even know how this kid came out alive. Like, it was crazy. So after breakfast, I'll get in a snack, and it's usually almond butter toast. Like, even though I've been raving about peanut butter, but when it comes to this after breakfast snack, I like to consume almond butter. Why? I don't know. Is it healthier? I think so. Honestly, the way I started eating this is because of Casey. Casey brought it home one day and he was like, ooh, we gotta try this. Honestly, that's where I get all my food info, is from my husband, because he absolutely loves food and he like dives deep in a lot of food, like nutrients and history and all that. So he loves it. So that's where I'm getting my information from. That's why I'm kind of like, I kind of know, but not really. But yeah, so he brought home almond butter and I've just been eating that with some whole wheat bread. Yeah, it's just really delicious. I like to toast my bread before spreading it, and I pair it with a glass of milk, because during pregnancy, they say, you know, milk is really great. It has a lot of protein, all that stuff, all that good stuff. So for lunch, I have been making these meal delivery kits that have been coming in. And the reason why I subscribe to them is because I am a complete noob to the kitchen, but now, because I know food is so important and for the betterment of my health and the baby's health, I wanted to learn how to start cooking. And so I decided to do these like meal delivery kits as a good way to get my feet wet in the kitchen. And so for lunch, I've been making a lot of these meals, but I just recently canceled my subscription because I finally gained enough confidence to believe in myself, to go out shopping for myself and make myself a meal, or make the family a meal based off of what I've learned through these delivery kits. So that's coming up soon. I'm really nervous because this is my last week with these kits. And so we're gonna see what I can come up with. But what I've been doing so far throughout this pregnancy for lunch is making these meal delivery kits. So they're super healthy, lots of color on the plate, lots of vegetables, low carbs, and it's just been really fun to really understand how food works and like how it cooks, and like different types of food too, because I've been exploring with like different vegetables that I've never eaten, like fennel and squash and all this other stuff where I'm like, what? I've never incorporated these foods in my diet before. Another reason why I really wanted to learn how to start cooking is because I realized, like, you know, Isaac is 13, about to be 14, and I feel really guilty. I kind of failed him in this one aspect of his childhood, which is to have a mom mom in the kitchen and to not like to have like home cooked meals made by his mother, because luckily we've had Casey in our lives that has filled in that gap. But I just feel like, wait, hold on, like this is something I always wish I could grow up with, like having, you know, a mom in the kitchen for every meal, home cooked meal, and that's something that I had always wanted. And so I had always wanted to give this to Isaac, but I never like really went for it. I don't know what it was. It was just insecurities, I guess, or laziness, whatever it was. I had never taken the steps to be that mom for him. But now that I am able to be that kind of mom, I'm just really striving for that, and not just for Isaac, but also for this baby that's coming into the world. I want them to know a mom in the kitchen. So then after lunch, I'll start getting hungry again, and I'll head down to the kitchen for another snack. And sometimes it'll be an avocado. I'll just crack open an avocado, sprinkle a tiny bit of salt, spoon it up and enjoy it. Or I'll reach over to the fruit basket, I'll get a pear or a clementine or a banana. Or recently I found these really cute tiny little crab apples, which are just apples but like mini forms. Oh my god, they're so freaking cute. And yeah, like I'll go for some fruit. Yeah, and when I was pregnant with Isaac, very rarely did I ever actually consume fruits. It was mainly like processed things. I remember drinking Kool-Aid a lot when I was pregnant. Like, what? That's so unhealthy. I'm honestly surprised that I did not get gestational diabetes with Isaac, but man, I was 17. Like, my body was meant to have kids. Now at this age, and this 31-year-old body, I definitely have to be very careful. Yeah, and for those of you that want to know like a good way to set yourself up for snacking throughout the day, I have these amazing nibble trays. And so Casey and I, we took this health class recently for this pregnancy. And during that health class, there was this suggestion for nibble trays, which is like these like containers with multiple slots in them that you can just put a whole bunch of different foods in. And it's funny because in this class, they were really suggesting this more for like toddlers, like a toddler nibble tray. But Casey was like, oh my god, I'm gonna make you some of those so you can have some throughout your pregnancy. And so whenever you're hungry, you could just grab one of these like trays and then just nibble on whatever you want. So that's another thing that I've been snacking on a lot recently. And I'll be putting in all kinds of foods. I even got some goldfish, like little crackers. I put in there some dried cranberries, grapes, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, like all the berries. I put them in these nibble trays. I also bought some like crackers and stuff that occasionally I put in there, or nuts like walnuts, cashews, macadamia nuts. I'll just put all kinds of different things in these nibble trays, and I'll prepare them all in the beginning of the week or whenever I run out of them, and just snack on them throughout the day. Just making sure I always have something in my belly. And then for dinner, a typical dinner that has been like my favorite dinner throughout this pregnancy is Casey's salmon. He makes this amazing baked salmon. He tops it off with a whole bunch of ginger and like soy sauce, and it's so delicious. And we pair that with some rice and a type of veggie. Sometimes it's Brussels sprouts, sometimes it's spinach, sometimes it's asparagus. Yeah, that's definitely been my favorite. And salmon is super healthy. It's packed with a whole bunch of protein, a lot of good omega-3 oils and all that good stuff. And so that's been something that I've been trying to consume more of, is like fish, but in particular salmon. Protein. Like, it's crazy because when I go visit my midwife, like she'll ask me like, oh, have you been experiencing any headaches or any leg cramps or any of that? And sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, I actually have been getting a little bit of headaches. And she's like, oh, you need to up your protein. And that's why that salmon dinner is like my ultimate favorite these days. And after dinner, of course, I still get hungry. So I end up topping off my day with a like after dinner snack. And a lot of the times these days, that snack is a quesadilla. And recently I switched over to whole wheat tortillas because it's just healthier. Like, whole wheat is just better. Casey's usually the one that's making me the quesadillas late at night, which I really appreciate. He brings over a quesadilla, or it'll be another almond butter toast, or a lot of the times whenever we have mango in the house, he'll like chop up some mango, put some lime, and we just go to town on the mango. So yeah, that's pretty much an entire day's meals for me. I try to really just keep it whole foods, keep it fresh, keep it full of protein, full of good fats, complex carbs. try my best. And yeah, honestly, it's a huge difference from this pregnancy to the last. I have had a little bit of like a thyroid scare issue sort of thing. My thyroid levels earlier on in the pregnancy were kind of high. So I got referred to an endocrinologist. So throughout all these, maybe like about 3 months, I've been getting monitored. Nothing's been crazy. My thyroid's still working properly. The levels were just like on the little borderline area where they were like, wait, we gotta keep an eye on this. But other than that, pregnancy's been going great. Super happy. It's just been feeling like harder and harder to breathe. In case you haven't noticed, this whole video I'm like, I feel so out of breath a lot of the times. But yeah, I think that's about it, you guys. That's my whole day with eating. I'm still gonna come out with that video of like really comparing Isaac's pregnancy with this pregnancy. I guess I'm just waiting until I'm a little bit further along to really get like the full scope of the whole pregnancy. So look out for that video, and thanks for watching. See you guys. Oh my god.